most moves.
Yeah, no, facts. Like I said, some of us predicted that it was gonna happen again, but team together is never gonna work. That's it.
With me, I got DC with me, and I got Big Dom in the chat. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
Into I think we trade first of all.
I feel like it's even. I feel like it's even. One, just because you gave away a young asset in Jalen Green, that's just mediocre, so you don't really care about that 10 to 2 years max. Also, well, no, I say Houston got trade value still, so you can eventually get some of them picks back. I say Houston won for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think Houston won too. They only is your best player too. Most of the time, your veteran leadership is not used like your best player, but in this case, it is. So I definitely think Houston won, and I feel like they're not done yet. I don't know what's next, but I feel like they're not done yet.
Dom?
Houston, if they get 2 good years out of KD, they become so you're not asking KD to do anything much as far. And then the like Daniel was saying, you keep a lot of your trade value, a lot of young assets. So whenever KD does eventually retire or leave, if he decides to join another team, then you still have everything left there that you were building on before to keep going.
Yeah,
I see KD playing for.
Go ahead, Dan.
Like 3 or 4 more years. He just came off of averaging.
He probably can give you 3 or 4 good years of 20. I'm saying 23 plus per game. If you're just asking you to score, yeah, KD's always going to be able to score.
Exactly, off run, he gonna get it. He gonna get back to.
I think the biggest thing that I would say, looking at just the names, the Suns won. Okay, the money and the positions that it puts them in, Houston won by a landslide. Both of those contracts give Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith, maybe Amin Thompson, giving up all type of stuff. Reed Shepherd, who you just drafted high last year to go score at the point guard. At the guard and at the wing. And I think they did a great job of getting rid of some to play towards others. So now they're going to run a bigger lineup, and it's going to be very fun to see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see lineups with KD at the 3. I wouldn't be surprised if we see lineups where it's not Steven Adams, Sengun, Jabari Smith, Amin Thompson, and KD. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that 5 is out there, and it's just awkward, but it's crazy, you know? Yeah, I think they're the best team in Texas right now.
Right now, yeah, facts. Mavs are 1 trade away and a Kyrie away from coming back in for the Spurs. So that's fun anticipation for the Texas teams for sure. Just because they have never been the main or cornerstone of the NBA. So
not all at once.
To see that. Not all at once, because Spurs, for you, of course, the dynasty market, I guess. I got 2 questions. One, isn't Fred VanVleet's contract nasty as well?
Yeah, it is.
Very nasty.
It is.
So I think right there, you had 3 nasty contracts on your belt. And all 3 of those, got to play for 2 years. The first year was really the development year. This year was the year to say, okay, come on, let's rock. And you seen that shit was terrible. Like, Fred VanVleet actually played the best out of all of them, if we're being honest.
I want to cut you off. I want to make your point a little stronger. It's not only that Fred VanVleet was the best out of all 3 of them. If you look at that Golden State series, Fred VanVleet was the only one that could stay on the court. Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green were unplayable towards the end of that series. And that's terrible for how much money they're being paid. Oh, man. So you get to keep all the players who were able to stay on the court when it mattered most. Win or lose, that's important.
That's very important.
That's definitely what I was getting at right there. You just was able to word it for me, and I appreciate that. That's definitely what I was getting at. Like, you were able to keep that, so then you move forward, and then you seen the Thompson twin, you seen everything and above. You just seen a bright future in him. So there was no way he was going to be involved in this package. I think Sengun disappointed me like a motherfucker this year, especially those shots close to the rim against the smaller opponents. Well, yeah, we know Golden State, even though they always been smaller, they've been a top defensive team. But still, I don't care when you're supposed to be a top guy eventually, especially a top rising guy, you got to get it done. But I think if they make one more trade, because I don't think Adams can play too many minutes.
Here's what I
For
think.
sure, danger.
I don't mean to cut you off, Daniel. I know you're about to jump in. Here's what I'll say about that. We had a lot of conversations about KD and Wemby, how they'll be able to around he's at college. You look at a mean phone booth scoring. If KD can get in the lab with all three of them young players and give them a little bit of bag work, oh my God, the purpose will be served. What do you say?
Better leadership and
absolutely.
And he's your best player. It's
Whoa. Wait. Time out. You said better what?
Like better in leadership, but he's also your best player.
That's where you fucked up at, man. The training was amazing. The training you saying, him getting back, that's amazing. You don't get leadership from Kevin Durant. He said it himself. We even talked about it on the podcast. When you got a coach like they got, you don't need Kevin Durant to be that
he's gonna
Kobe Bryant or anybody like that. You just need him to hoop and be able to lead them as far as like
closer,
the training shit, or closer and stuff like that. Because I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is what I worry about what's about to happen in the playoffs. The same thing that happened to them last year, but just to one guy. The thing that stops Kevin Durant the most, or he has the most trouble with, is when he gets what?
Blitz.
He gets blitz. When you blitz him. We remember what happened when the young, not the championship Boston Celtics, but the young Boston Celtics. We remember what happened when they blitzed him. He looked terrible. Did he eventually still get those points? Yeah, nasty efficiency. Some games he didn't get the points. He looked terrible. And that was before So that's what worries me now, because if you can't go get a bucket from nowhere else, and I can just blitz Kevin Durant, nigga, that's the same shit as last year, just prettier.
As Boston did. Like, the whole leave Amin Thompson in the corner. All right, that shit ain't happening no more. I promise you, they gonna have him in the lab this summer. The only thing Amin Thompson missing is be able to catch and shoot corner shots. Everybody else, you gotta be able to get a buck. Sengun, you are not Jokic. Be Sengun. Like little things like that. But like, I don't think there's a team currently constructed that can blitz teams and then put Drew Holiday on the second best player. Like, that was a crazy built team. You know what I'm saying? But Drew Holiday was on Kyrie, and then the rest of the team just
constructed like that.
Yeah,
okay.
that was a crazy.
Yeah. But be fair.
Yeah.
I just want to just back to like I was talking about the whole like veteran like leadership. Like, I know like KD is not necessarily like a strong like leader like that, but he is still like an OG, and because he's like he don't listen to him and gravitate towards to him anyways. So it's not that like he really wants to be like a leader, but it's gonna just happen naturally. So that's kind of like I meant as a veteran like leadership.
Yeah, and I like in the preseason before this good season that they just finished up. We were like, these guys in the locker room, they damn near the Hornets. You know what I'm saying? You got guys humping on each other. You got atmosphere locker room in the NFL. And you're right. I feel like, come on, man, it's more about leadership.
If we're doing staples, I think I want to do this topic, and then I want to switch over to biggest loser from the KD trade, as in team that should have invested but didn't. If we're talking about what KD with a bunch of what do you mean by that? When you play with a bunch of young teammates, oftentimes they can't handle the fact that NBA is against really well against any team. Utah Jazz, Memphis Grizzlies, Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics. But when things started going bad, Ime as a defensive led coach they didn't have somebody that could stop a run team. KD in the midst of a 9-0 run, an 11-0 run, can slow the game down and say, hold on, let me get to my spot and take the lid off the basket. That is going to help that team so much. And it's not fouls. It's not going to the free throw line. It's let me get to my spot, slow down, and get the lid off the basket. And that's going to get it all going. So I think that's probably the biggest thing for me.
Facts. And then on top of that, I was going to add in, just because we touched on it already, but I mean, shit, when you really sit there and think about it now, I'm thinking about it, and then with the coach they got, the office they got in Houston, Reed Shepherd, bro, we forget he gonna make a leap. We haven't mentioned him anything besides he make a leap. Those guys on the bench, Jabari Smith gonna be, you know what I mean? Terry Easton as well. You got talent, my guy. Can you get it more consistent, and can you take a next step? You know what I mean? They got pieces, bro. They got a bench. They got a starting five. They got defense. They got coaching. You got a nice arena. You got fan support. You got all that to make a nice deep run. And as we've seen, the West is wide open. OKC is not that hard to beat. They almost lost to a lot of teams that they should have beat. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Memphis. So, I mean, it's open this year, and it's a lot of trades that can happen.
Be back in like the finals and within the next like 2 or 3 years.
I don't think so.
That. Just
I
because
damn sure don't think so.
I really feel to again. I feel you, which is definitely understandable. Any team out of the West can just snap it on at any time. But the reason why like I get back there and stuff like that. So like it's one thing if there's like a 4-game series, 5-game series. No, this is a Game 7 series. So their endurance is gonna be different. Their demeanor is gonna be different. I think they're gonna take a whole new approach following like the season.
I don't think that's a bad take. I just think it's a bad take for the wrong team. Listen, the way
like who like what team do you think is gonna have a different demeanor?
I'm gonna explain.
Because they got the most.
I'm gonna explain. So, you know, they got to a Game 7 NBA Finals. They're gonna learn from this. Where I've seen 2, if not 3 players on their team since Game 6 come in with a nonchalant attitude, like win or lose, it's okay. It's all been good.
Yeah.
That's not okay. That's a very ignorant approach, especially when a person you drafted high, who you expected to be a star, is shooting 12% from 3-point line. Chet is shooting 12% from the 3-point line. There are things about this finals, and I'm not going to talk about, luck. I'm going to talk about facts. You look at who got there in the finals. What's up, Derek? You look at who got there in the finals and how they got there. I said this weeks ago, and I will stand by this. The loser of this finals will not have a ring on their resume, period. It's just not going to happen. OKC is not going to be able to afford to keep that team together. They're not going to afford it. Indiana is the next 5 teams are all in the West in terms of good talent. Dallas is going to be way better next year. Houston's going to be way better next year, okay? Denver, we don't know. The Lakers, one move away from being way better next year. There's like 5 teams in the West that could easily be light years ahead of OKC right now. And it's not even close. So to say they're going to be back, hell no, they're not. It was huh?
It is luck in a way.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I would say, like, I don't want to blame it strictly on luck, right? Because they did win in Game 7 against the Nuggets, right? Injuries aside, right? They did run into a very terrible Grizzlies team. They still won, though. Rudy Gobert dropped a 30-20 on the Lakers and then averaged 6 points the rest of the playoffs. But at the end of the day, they still beat Memphis, right? It might have been the easiest road ever, but they still did it. So, now taking that into consideration, how much better can OKC get from this? I don't see them getting that much better. How much better do you see J-Dub getting next year? How much better do you see Shea getting?
Yeah, no.
Hardenstein is capped out, and he's a great player. Caruso is capped out, but he's a great player. Rose, it's just not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on him. That's just the truth in what I see. So, I absolutely believe with favor, any of those teams, it could happen, But I just don't. I can't guarantee they're going to be back. Huh?
I got you.
Yeah.
So if OKC was a bigger market, would you think that they would be back?
Yes.
I don't know, bro.
Yes.
Because don't they still got like a lot of future?
Yes, because they got 50 draft picks in the next 2 years, so they would have all those draft picks, and they'll be able to re-sign J-Dub, sign Shea to a max, and then trade half those draft picks in Chet for a superstar. Absolutely, they will be back. But they can't afford to do both.
Stuff like that. I think Shea would be willing to take a pay cut. He's not gonna do it this offseason. Restructure your deal, something along the lines like help them get more guys. I think he would be willing.
Yeah, no. I just saw.
I was saying like the family culture that they have going on in OKC with the whole team doing the post game interviews and all that. If that's not just for show, I could see Shea taking the pay.
For one guy, they dick ride Shea. Let's be honest. Now, a couple of others will come in and woo, woo, woo. But when Shea's up there, they're putting towels on the announcers. And listen, I saw off January, I saw Shea in baby oil in an underwear commercial. He is willing to do anything for the bag. Shea is going to sign a max, and it's going to break records. And there's nothing anyone can do about it.
And goddamn it, I hate the flopping motherfucker, but rightfully is how say anything because he hasn't had a big contract yet, fam. You gotta get your money and look out for you and your family at the end of the day, bro. Why would I turn down? I'm not young. I'm young. Contract year, fam. That's crazy.
You to say that, but whenever you got endorsement deals on top of endorsement deals, it's a little bit different because you got money coming in from different sources.
Okay, so how much money will he?
What superstar has done that? How many?
Tom Brady. But that's you got to think about superstars in first apron, not second contract, first contract.
No, that's first contract, bro.
Nobody.
What nigga done that? No Kobe, LeBron, no Michael, no none of them niggas. They had
okay.
Advertisement and
actually, because that's not fair because even them, they were in big markets. So how much money Shea would really have to shave off to sign J-Dub or Chet to a big contract? It would be astronomical in a contract. He has to sign big. That's the only way they'll be able to get something back, or he's leaving.
Or he leaving, gang. Like it just wouldn't make sense. Like, I feel what you're saying, Dave. I don't think the shit for sure. I feel like all them niggas that's they vibe. That's for real how they is, bro. And I wish them niggas could stay together forever. But that's not how the NBA and business work, bro. Like,
so you think it's an ultimatum? Like it's either a max contract or he's done or he's out of here?
No. Oh, well, for Shea, first of all, OKC's gonna offer him the max. OKC's gonna offer him the max. And then what they'll do is they'll be like, well, all right, look, here's what we can do. Let's take 1 year away from your max and pull some for the back end and reconstruct a little bit and give you a player option that 5th year if we can try to pay somebody else. That's the most terrible. You know what I mean? Like, that's so disrespectful to offer to the person. I mean, it's not a Jokic thing to where they're a lottery team. But it's a substantial difference. It's the Indiana, I think the last game, Indiana had 107 more passes than OKC. 107. It's literally, here, Shea, do something.
Yeah, facts.
So speaking of doesn't win,
Facts.
If you're Miami, I just don't understand why it's not like a Khalil Ware or a Tyler Hero. You're not willing to give someone like Jaime? What?
Jaime, Haywood, Highsmith, those names are alarming. More assets than you already, and you already knew that. And then you're not going to trade Jaime for Kevin Durant. You're not going to trade Haywood Highsmith for Kevin Durant. You're not going to trade the number 10, what was it, 11 pick?
Howard or whatever.
And Jovic or whatever.
They all play under, besides Jovic. Jovic got more PT this year. They all of them was playing under 20.
At Cam? Because they were in the play-in this year. Did you see any of them get on the court?
Yeah.
Hell no.
What are we talking about right now, bro? Like, I can't.
I wouldn't even, like, what direction were they even fucking going in? Were they going to go Tyler Hero, Bam, and KD? And then just put in Wiggins? And then just the rest be heat culture type shit and hope it happens?
Well, we know they're going to move Terry Rozier, right? We know they're trying to awkward because, I mean, I know Bam wants to play the 4, Khalil Ware at the 5, but I don't see how that's not they don't have a point guard.
But that can't be your number 1.
I will say that about Cocaine Curry, Reed Shepherd.
Yeah, it worked. And I said he was going to take a jump for a reason, bro. I know people like, oh, he's just a highlight guy. No, that's how they feel about Rod Cunningham, too. I feel like these guys, with guys around them, it will work. I don't see anything working for Miami. After I seen that the T-Wolves were this year, I didn't look at the Wolves as a threat, but they turned up a notch against the Lakers. But what they going to do? You know what I'm saying? Are they rocking that squad?
He is.
No, he is. I said, what are Timberwolves going to do? Because once I seen that Kevin Durant said he was not actively looking to go to the T-Wolves, and that Anthony Edwards wasn't recruiting him, I'm thinking like, what are they gonna do? Are they looking to rock that squad back? Y'all got to think Nas Reed is done after, or might not be coming back. But he's not no center. I don't know.
No, the Timberwolves jacked up because they tried to put Anthony Edwards in commercials instead of developing the team. You traded to go. Anthony Edwards got blitzed in the playoffs. You know who you could have used. So I don't know what I think it's a waste of time even watching them. They're gonna do the exact same thing, come in the first round playoffs, and be the exact same pickle. If they run into the right opponent, they're gonna lose. If they don't, they're gonna make their way and say run into the right opponent and get out anyway. I don't see it. I don't see a trade.
I don't think you see a trade they can make because they can't get.
Yeah, no.
Minnesota. I think there's been too much hype and too much banking on Edwards for it to just be like, oh, he busted in the playoffs and that was it.
Time. It's just, remember, this is the problem. Thank you, Jerry Jones. This is the problem with salary cap. Small market teams, Edwards, if he gets the big boy money that he deserves, never going to happen. So, right now, Minnesota is what, the 5th best team in the West? Right now. Maybe 6 right now. So, and that's completely healthy. So it's, I don't know. And again, how many times are we just going to watch them as Anthony Edwards get blitzed and there's nothing anyone else can do?
No, you're right. And like you said, they should have played Rob Dillingham because your point guard was Michael Conley and you have max 2 years left out of him. Yep. You had, like you said, you traded assets to acquire Rob Dillingham. So you obviously saw the potential as an asset. So if you're not going to develop that, and you're going to let Anthony Edwards get blitzed and pretty much run your 1 and your 2 at the same time, then what do you expect? So,
looking back,
Dillingham, like you said, if they play him and develop him, he can be a good piece for them. But then, like you said, they're going to have to trade or not trade, but they're going to lose. Gobert.
Yeah, and see, my thing with, right? They still have the picks, still have the money, they still have the youth to move, but they're just not willing to because of the Heat culture. Timberwolves, they don't have much to move, and a third Western Conference. The worst part about what happened with doing better than what you were expected the first time was, well, we weren't expecting it anyway. You do better than what you were expected the second time, and it becomes, well, maybe that's what we should be expecting. Now, if they go and do it third, it's West Conference Finals. And if they do anything less, Anthony Edwards and company is severely underperforming and underachieving. It's a setup for failure that I ought to throw up on myself saying those words.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then, like you said, Gobert's getting paid. He's getting paid max money, too. So, and he can barely play. I'm not going to say barely play, but he gets played off the court with certain lineups, certain teams. So,
because he can't make layups.
Tough.
Like,
yeah, at 7.
Because you don't have the IQ.
As a 7-footer.
He didn't have to score anymore.
Chet missed an alley-oop.
But I mean, things have happened. That and his blunders. And they were saying that he's going to be the guy that makes the game 7 uh-oh. If you remember, Tim Duncan had a uh-oh against the Heat in game 7 that cost them that series. If you remember, the Knicks versus the Rockets, Patrick Ewing had a uh-oh that cost them that series. And I forgot who I was. 215 from 3. He's shooting like 40% from the field. He's missed a whole bunch of inside the paint buckets. He's going to be the guy that does uh-oh. And I'm really thinking about, like, damn, is that really about to happen? Like, for real? Like, is it going to be Chet? I don't know.
The Pacers, I could see Carlisle. See, you can't leave J-Dub open. You can't leave the Wiggins, Caruso, Joe. You can't leave the who else? Game 7, it's his first finals. And so I could definitely see them putting him in a spot where they're telling him, hey, you're going to have to beat us.
What'd you say, Daniel?
I was saying, if they do try and let Chet beat them, isn't Chet kind of streaky?
He is.
instead of raising it. I will test some basketball IQ in the chat and the group. When we saw what happened to Shea in Game 6, you would consider that a blitz, a trap, right? Looking back at Rick Carlisle's history, you know something that he's implemented in closeout games that has extremely, extremely worked for me? Anybody want to take a guess? He runs zone defense. Mavs versus Heat. He came out in the finals and ran 2-3 zone against LeBron and the Heat. I swear, go look at it. He runs zone when it matters most. Now, we haven't seen any zone so far in the finals. But when they ran the trap off the top of the key and the block blitz, it worked astronomically to the Pacers' favor. You mentioned running a gamble on Chet because you don't leave people open. But the best way to run a gamble while leaving everyone open and nobody open, the 3 minutes to the first quarter, 5 minutes to the second quarter, a 2-3 zone from Indiana. I swear I'm not playing. And if you see it, you'll know it that I called it. Because that's what we're...
I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Okay.
Because if I don't see no zone,
I'm wrong.
all right.
Hey, I'm wrong. Wrong is right. I promise you. But if I know Rick Carlisle correct, he can draw up 5th man on man. You got block blitz and you got 2-3 zone. That's all he run on defense. So he's ran a lot of man on man, switch, pump, all that. He's ran a little bit of blitz on the block. But I ain't seen that zone. And if you tell me I can get 20 minutes out of Obi Toppin, but we'll see.
I can't wait. I did not notice about him. I'm actually really going. I'm really about to look it up and see.
That Miami Heat versus the Mavs. Like I said, he pulls out the zone to close out games. He did it against the Bucks last year. The closeout games in the zone.
That's a dangerous game zone in OKC because 3 threes in a row, 2-3 threes in a row. You know,
I mean they zone Miami.
Full of shooters like this OKC team.
Well, I mean the thing that I saw shifted from Game 6 compared to the rest of the game was who was setting the screen or Casey Wallace setting the screen to get Naismith on. Then they popped Naismith down on the opposite corner, guarding Chet or company, and had Obi Toppin and company on the top, catching at half court. Allowed the trap to get back, making SGA to do lob passes, slower lob passes. You had, occasionally you have Tyrese Halliburton on Hardenstein. But at the end of the day, when Hardenstein, Miles Turner are averaging 4 rebounds, it's not real. Chet and Miles Turner are averaging 4 rebounds. It don't matter. Tyrese box out Hardenstein. Whoever's there, grab the board. And that's why TJ McConnell was grabbing on the random ass boards. So the trap worked. Now on Casey Wallace shooting 15 shots tonight over just letting SGA put his backpack on.
Yeah.
You go look to come back and listen to this after this game. Go look at history in Game 7s. There has only been one 70s going to the 80s, okay? 2 times, the leading bench scoring team won the game. And only one time, and I know this was a long time ago before the high 3. If you're telling me that we are expecting Shea is not on that damn level, I'm sorry, he's not. And he don't have a Kyrie with him. He don't. So take that game away. Somebody from the bench
What do you mean he does have a Kyrie?
Bro, unplug your phone and throw it out the window. No, he don't.
Because I wanted to say
no, he does.
J-Dub,
the rep.
Oh,
type shit. No, let's argue, J-Dub. Go for it.
I was just going to say, J-Dub, so he obviously doesn't have any type of resume how Kyrie had and stuff of a sidekick to where if Shea comes out and he's not on his A game, okay, J-Dub, let's see what you got going, and then go from there.
It's okay. J-Dub is not the secondary here, go get buckets. He's just very good at doing his job. He does his job well. His job isn't ISO ball. Kyrie's
in terms of on the court. Okay.
yes. So Kyrie was there to put up 40 points in a game 7. 89-89. Curry gets the score.
Kyrie Braun through ice, like through ISO ball.
Yeah, and so we see SGA as he can get to his spot and do it. Okay, J-Dub does not get to his spot and do it. J-Dub is really, really good. Fundamental layups, left hand, left side, right hand, right side. He makes a good amount of free throws, and he can catch and shoot. That's a great player. It's a great step. Gives you 40 points today. The Kyrie way, they're going to win by 40. They're going to win by 20. If he does 40 points, 28 of those points were off fast break and cuts. They weren't dribbling the basketball. That's what I'm saying about J-Dub. You know what I'm saying? And that's
the ball and say, here, go do it, and expect him to go do it.
Exactly.
The way that Kyrie is, yeah.
But at the same sentiment, Indiana don't have no secondary ball defender. They barely got a primary one. Guys, if we saw Aaron in foul trouble in the first quarter.
Yeah, I can see that.
And unfortunately, he's, however you want to call Tyrese Halliburton, however you want to call Siakam, they are not the best ISO. Yeah, that's his name, right? Their best ISO scorer. Naismith to hit another 7 threes in the game. Damn sure don't. I mean, is this the game Tyrese Halliburton shows up? Matt said this the other day. He said, who would be the MVP? I don't know. The best player who plays game 7. If OKC wins, obviously SGA. But if it's Indiana, I don't know. The best player who plays.
Yeah, really. Because you have games. They won one of those games was Bandit Mathurin. Another one of those games. Those players, and then they took over, but they were the X factors in those.
So who you got winning tonight?
That is the thing that's going to make this Indy.
Oh, go for it. Now, what were you about to say? Go for it.
Oh no, that's the thing that makes this Indiana team like so special. But like then again, like you said, that's how you know they're only going to have this one chance because they have the perfect mix of the right pieces and the right. I got OKC winning tonight.
Don't smile when you say that because that makes it sound a little biased.
No, it's game 7. They're at home. Noise in stadiums that might set a record tonight. On top of that, Dagno versus Carlisle, I will say these are two of the most underrated and I'm not gonna say underrated on Carlisle's part.
Right.
Carlisle has the respect. Dagno, I would say because he's newer, he's underrated somewhat, even though he has the coach of the year to his name.
Right.
But I feel like that matchup tonight is going to be the most how they flip rotations, how they do minutes. Like you said, the zone defense might get implemented. What Dagnow does if they do implement the zone defense, how he adjusts to that. The lineups we're running, 2 bigs, 1 big. See, a lot of that's going to be interesting to see tonight. But I do think that OKC's going to pull it off.
Tonight, Siakam will secure that Finals MVP.
Derek, who you got winning, man?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Pacers are going to finish it out. I think whatever they summoned, put down on it. They sacrificed however many souls to win the last game. It's going to be at least double. It's going to be at least double to win the whole thing.
Yeah, TJ McConnell's great. Comes eyes on
either way. Do y'all think it's going
to win? Hell no. At first I thought it was going to be barely 100 from both teams too. I really did. I thought they're gonna come in nervous, you know. But if they come in nervous on out, if both teams is on the A game, like greatness from like the best basketball we've seen, because I feel like this finals, in my opinion, is the beginning of new era NBA, where every season is going to be different people going to NBA finals because there's just that many young, new, good teams. This has to be a staple to the entire world watching that greatness is yet to come. So in saying that, I do see the Pacers winning, but they do it in a fashion that is like Hollywood. Like, oh my God, a star has been born. Like, in a way that like SGA goes out, but it's like, oh man, you feel bad for him because he fought so hard and he did his best, you know? And like, it's not going to be where, do you remember a highlight from the Celtics Mavs series? Does anybody remember a highlight from the Bucks Suns?
I remember one, the
Giannis,
the Giannis, yeah.
If the Siakam contact dunk would have been LeBron or someone like that, they would still be talking about that dunk. But the fact that it was a Tyrese Haliburton to Siakam, it's not talked about anymore. But whatever happens today will be rung around nations to come. I feel like that is the type of game we are bound to see today. It will not be boring. It might be slow. But it's not going to be. OKC's not losing. Go ahead, Don.
So what you're saying, if the Pacers lose, it's going to be because...
I said this the other IG Live, and then I went to has 11 or more free throw attempts. They are 0-3 in the finals when he doesn't.
So what you're saying is that if OKC wins, it's most likely going to be because of the refs.
I didn't say. You look at aggressiveness. Just earlier with the KD thing, you have some players who, how can I stop a run? I can get to my spot and get a buck. You have SGA is going to have to be able to manipulate runs because it's going to happen. If they come out in this zone like I think they're going to, there are going to be runs that happen. Limit turnovers and get to your spot. If it's the 15-footer all night doing chicken wing, fuck it. If it's swatting, they're going to foul. So, yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of whistles tonight. That's the truth. Everybody going to get their face time. But the whistles can happen to where the team gets a bonus with 5 minutes left. Those are way worse than getting a bunch of shooting fouls, right? Because then Nembhard, the beginning of to hold the whole fourth in the second quarter, where the runs can happen. You see what I'm saying? So I that's what's gonna be important to me. That's just my 2 cents though. Bench points, limit fouls.
It's runs that dictate the game. It's interesting.
And look, I know Indiana has 8 players averaging double digits, and that's cool. And I'll say it again. Tonight is not about becoming a hero. Tonight is about not becoming a villain. Go out there and do your job. Just do your job. I don't need to see TJ McCollum throw 30 jump shots up tonight. Don't do that. Please, God, don't. Go out there and do your job. That's it.
But, like, at the same time, don't you think that, like, there eventually needs to become a hero in crunch time?
All right, watch this. I like how you said that. How do you become extraordinary?
You basically exceed expectations.
Sure. That is an abnormal way to be extraordinary. Of times. Do your job a whole lot tonight. Oh my gosh. Hustle rebounds.
Necessarily like he ain't like a Kyrie, where like you know what I'm saying? So if J-Dub is, I mean, obviously you expect like the last shot to be taken by like the MVPs and stuff like that, you know, crunch time, whatever. But if J-Dub has to be the difference maker and he has to be ordinary, I think that's just a lot to ask of him.
So
you know?
In a close game, that's never been that case. The more the lead has grown for the Thunder, at least how I've watched, the more you see J-Dub dribble the ball. Now, I'm not saying he hasn't dribbled the ball in close games. Good cuts, catch and shoot, 3 dribble max. So we come out here in game 7 and we see him, boom, 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 J-Dub, right? We saw game 5. Don't try to be a hero and become a villain. You see what I'm saying?
Another thing. So like the second option, or basically like the more reliable players is inconsistent at times. You know what I'm saying? That don't make me feel very confident within OKC.
All right. Do you remember when was it the Spurs? No, it was OKC. Shane Battier, he wasn't doing run and spin fades. He wasn't doing, contested on 3 people.
Okay. I see what you mean. So what you're saying is that you just expect him to just step up in certain moments.
Okay. I'll say it to you like this, because I don't want to make it just a J-Dub thing. Chet is shooting 40/12, 40/12/ like 70/80.
Yeah.
But he shot 17 threes this finals. Miles Turner shot a career high plus 40% from 3 during the regular season. So if either one of them tonight hit 4 threes, that is not extraordinary in the way they're doing something. Wow. They're just literally doing their job. Do you see what I'm saying?
So like they just get tricked.
They're efficiently doing what they were supposed to do this whole time. If Miles Turner was hitting threes like he was supposed to be, this series would have. It's not like we're asking Shaquille O'Neal to shoot threes. These are shooting bigs. That's what they do. So just if you shoot threes, if you're a corner man, be a corner man. That's it. That's it.
Okay, I see what you mean.
On the flip side, it's the same thing. If either one of them get 3 or 4 blocks, that'll have an impact. But it won't be something like you said. It won't be something extraordinary because it's what they're expected to do in their role. But it would be something that would.
Is it going to come down to whoever has like the ball last?
No.
Outside of free throws.
No.
That if it comes down to last couple possessions like that, I do see Indy pulling that off.
Yeah, I mean we saw them do it. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's the one thing that I guess OKC should be worried about is you can't let you're most likely.
I think actually Tyrese Halliburton had 26 against the Bucks. There's a couple people that are due to be to their peak on both teams.
Mm-hmm.
So this
it'll be a good
one. So there's legacy on the line for the coaches.
The game gets coached, and that's why I hope it doesn't come out of those controversy, nothing like that.
Damn, I want to see
the damn good.
If the game didn't have a chance for the got Lou Dort. Oh my God! Speaking of Lou Dort, he might be the one to mess around and drop 5 threes tonight. I'm not even being funny. He really might, because you go back and look at his history. It's just one random appearance he has. Bow! Boom! Oh, he can't miss. Crazy. It could be him tonight. But, yeah, you let Lou Dort get touchy-feely, okay, and compared to letting all them get touchy-feely on SGA, they don't have a chance.
Yeah, definitely. Because, yeah, like you said, OKC's source of offense is all coming from one player. So, yeah, if it gets down to that, then, yeah, OKC don't have a chance. So I hope it's a fairly officiated game, but not a overly officiated game.
Which it has been.
Basically.
And the foul differences. But when it's a low foul called game, the Pacers won. When it's a high foul called, how many new commercials want to get aired today? We will see. Because, of course, politics have to be involved somehow, some way. I hate to just bring that about. But the endorsements have to get paid from somewhere. So, I wouldn't be surprised the last 5 minutes of the game takes an hour. And we can hope it's not a blowout. That's the only thing we can hope. Because that'll be bad for basketball.
There's going to be a ton of ad space because it's a game 7. So
I mean, that's gonna be
fun.
That's gonna be so bad for basketball if it's a blowout. Indiana might fall off the face of the earth.
Oh yeah, no. It's gonna be a bad look, especially just because it's two like small market teams.
Yeah. If Indiana gets blown out, they're gonna fall off the face of the earth. And if OKC, the MVP, gets blown out in Game 7, woo! Ouch. That's bad for basketball,
That'd
man.
probably be the best thing that happened to basketball.
You said what, Derek?
No, I think it's actually a good, because if we're using our pattern recognition skills, right? We put on our little pattern recognition hats, right? If OKC is losing when there's, I'm saying, that's all I'm saying.
I would like to see the league be a little bit more again. Sure, who wouldn't? But
no, I miss it. What we need to let Isaiah Stewart crash out one more time.
They're gonna be in the playoffs next year, by the way.
It feels so weird to say because they've been bad for a while now.
Yes.
So
20 years.
Yep.
Mm.
They
crazy. I went. That
was what, 04?
Yeah, because that was with Chauncey Billups, right?
Yeah.
And the
team was really, that Pistons team in today's league would be some hell. Like that Pistons team, because that was a much more balanced team than what, like back then. I think one superstar, but they had a lot of guys that could get it done.
I'm looking at Game 7. They only attempted 14 threes.
One from Tayshaun, one from
different era.
Yeah, I know it's from a different era, but we're saying if they were playing, like, I know out there and say, all right, let's learn how to shoot threes. I'm pretty sure they would learn how to shoot more threes, but Knicks 90-84, bench scoring 1, but Starks went 0 for 11 from 3. That was a trivia question. Man. Bad. And Ray Allen was over. I'm telling you, man. Game 7 is a different animal. Game 7 is a different animal. Yeah, that's what they added. They added today. Okay, Game 7.
It's gonna be like topping, or it's, we were talking about how, like, I mean, as far as like someone coming off 20 tonight,
for them to get in the game. The second one, or they just find their way crazy in the beginning of a third. Like, what the hell? Keep them in. You know, hot hands. Yes.
The other day.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Mike Miller performance. Mm-hmm. The Jason Terry performance.
Jason Terry, exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
I think that's more like, that's definitely more, that, like, something like that is more likely to happen than, like you said, than Shea dropping a 40 ball tonight, or Siakam dropping a 40 ball, or Tyrese dropping a 30, 15, 10, you know, something like that. I don't see something like that happening tonight, but someone coming off the bench, or somebody who hasn't been playing up.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Lakers.
Okay.
Like somebody, man. I don't know, boys. All right, biggest keys to winning tonight. What y'all got?
Because that's whenever you guys start subbing in other guys. I think that's going to be like the difference maker. So whoever can.
It's going to be, I feel like the combination of second chance points and bench points.
Bench points for sure.
But that feels too easy of a pull to say bench points. So that's why I wanted to say second chance points too, because that's hustle, that's hard. That's going to be something that points kind of emphasizes that to me. So I feel like that's going to be something to watch, to keep an eye on.
My bad. I got a lot going on in my background. My bad. defense, 3-point shooting, and rebounding gonna be keys to the game tonight.
Derek, you got anything?
Free throws, like you said, with like fouls. No, I think you know, it's just gonna be an excessive amount of calls and really, really just slow the game down.
For me, I think the two biggest things that nobody said that I think, one, limiting turnovers. Limiting turnovers leads to number two, which was who can score the most efficiently in a half-court offense. That's gonna be what does it tonight. Everybody's gonna have runs.
Do you think they're gonna slow it down? They're gonna slow.
Can beat every team in the league, 30 teams, except one, in pushing the pace, and that's Indiana. In pace, running. That's the only way to win shooters.
If you're now, are you playing Hartenstein 20+ minutes tonight, or is that just kind of
nervous? You got to see it.
You gotta have us ready to roll.
Everything there is not no point.
You gotta have us ready to roll.
Everything there is not no point looking at film. Game 7, everything's on the marbles, all about adjustments. Now, what you said, I'm going to battle. Cason Wallace started every game this finals and didn't start any games before then. They ran 2 bigs. The only difference is, who are they bringing out to bring her? Who are they going to take out to bring him in? Is SGA gonna?
Like I said, that was a better question. Are they gonna run Chet with? Yeah, are they gonna run Chet with him? Or are they gonna take Chet out? Or are they gonna, yeah.
Because we've seen games where SGA has 3 fouls in 2 minutes in the first quarter. We've seen games where J-Dub has 1 shot attempt until the third quarter. We've seen games where Chet, he rolls his ankle 5 times the first 3. Like, we don't know who OKC's gonna take out to bring in Hartenstein. We just don't. Are they going to leave Hartenstein out and run ISO Joe more? Right? They might bring in the other J-Dub. Who knows?
Playing a couple of minutes tonight just to see how that goes. Because like you said, Game 7, you got to throw film out the window. You got to throw everything that you've seen, even in this series.
30,000 blue and white towels. 30,000 blue and white shirts. Ah! I'm literally going to play 10 people. If I'm OKC, I'm playing 10 people. Everybody gets a chance. All right, well, you came in 2 minutes, you got -7. Go ahead and come sit down. Go grab a clipboard. You know, put your warm-up suit back. Keep shooting. It's a big difference. Came in game 4, game 5. Oh, my God. He got a bad foul, turnover, bad foul, free throws. Then he got fouled, missed both free throws. Then he fouled again. Then he got fouled again and missed both free throws again. Oh, that was a horrible, 4-minute stretch for him. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
That was, I believe that was game 4, because that was the game where if the Pacers won, it was pretty much going to be over with.
Yeah, it would have been 3-1. Yeah, that was game 4. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it was in Indiana. Oh, man.
It was in it, just full speed. That was just.
Yeah.
They put his hands up at the ref, what I do. Yeah, no, that was.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton, if you ever see this message before the game starts, please hear me dearly and know this is a respectful thing, not to be rude. Dude, today is not the game to showcase that you can. Please don't. You've had
I think it was the last game of the Bucks series, and then I think it was game 6 of the Knicks series too, for tonight. Because I don't know why, but for some reason he cleans it up whenever he needs to, and I feel like that could be he could potentially play another perfect game. He's done it at least once or twice every single series. So why not this one?
I can tell you why it hasn't happened yet. It's because the Thunder have done something that no other team, most other teams, don't do because of their pride. They blitzed his ass. They are putting hands and feet on his face. Get the ball out of your hands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want to sit there and let Tyrese Halliburton play one-on-one basketball, what do you expect is going to happen? If I was watching Magic Johnson play one-on-one basketball, I'm sending 3 people at him. Maybe not that 20, but like a 2015, 2010, around there for sure. Too easy.
Play the perfect game tonight.
Let me tell you, if he does that, he's going to be a superstar. We talked about this. If he does that, in the NBA Finals, you went out there and put up a 2010, a 25-15 with no turnovers, they will ring that bell for a long time. Against the MVP?
Yeah.
They home?
Yeah, but it's just, I'm talking even if like he does it. It's tough to put him in like that category.
You think Tracy McGrady was a superstar?
Yes.
Tracy McGrady never made out of the first round.
But he led the league once or twice in scoring.
So you're seeing my point. Extraordinary talk. One, through doing ordinary things a bunch of times, and one through having like incredible moments. Tyrese Halliburton is the moments guy. What the hell? Remember, we're in a different day and age of social media and this and that. Everybody knows Tyrese Halliburton because of what the hell? They playing it everywhere. What the hell? What the hell? Right? My mama know that damn song. That's crazy. Imagine if he pulled something like that Game 7 of the finals. Oh, I think social media
knows a lot about it.
What'd you say, Derek?
My brother-in-law is over here.
Derek, what's up, homie?
Oh, it's Derek. Yes. It's the other Derek.
Yo.
So I overheard what y'all was saying. Yeah, buddy. Hold on, wait. I was overhearing what y'all was saying about like I'm saying who's gonna win the finals and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And obviously I feel like everybody's gonna choose the OKC to win, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that'll play a big factor that winning tonight. But also this Pacers team was just really good. I don't know what's going on. Like
Really
they just on a roll. Like they're really good. Like I didn't think they was gonna win that last game at all. It's a 50-50 game. But really I think it's a 60-40 game for me in terms of percentages. So you know what I'm saying? I feel like Tyrese Halliburton has everything to gain from this, winning this finals, and SGA has everything to lose because he's the MVP. You know what I'm saying? And if he loses this, everybody's going to talk shit and be like, oh, free throw merchant. He couldn't get his free throw, so he couldn't even win the finals without his free throws, woo, you know, shit like that. And then, you know, everybody's going to keep talking shit about Tyrese Halliburton saying he did the... But, okay, see, I feel like they got it in the bag. If they lose at home, SGA can't afford that. So, hey.
He's the game winner. However, Siakam wins Finals MVP. Do we still put Halliburton in that superstar?
I agree with what Derek was saying. If the Thunder win, it's obvious SGA is going to get the little trophy. Woo, 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 marketing. The Pacers, on the other hand, there hasn't been anyone. TJ McCollum has just as good odds as Pascal Siakam or Tyrese Halliburton winning the MVP right now. It's because he dropped 40 or 35, which, if he does that, I don't think it's coming down to a buzzer beater. I mean, Nembhard's hit some big ones too. Naismith's hit some big ones. Topper's hit some big ones. I've seen them drop playoff plays against the Bucks, against the Knicks, where Tyrese didn't even touch the ball until the deflection. Now, if it's just an apples and atoms, huh?
Okay.
If everybody,
Yeah.
there's 8 people on that team averaging more than 10 points.
Okay.
So now for the hero story, of course, you know, he's on one leg. He's been the captain of the team for sure. I don't think nobody on that team cares though. Siakam said it himself the best. I came here expecting that it was going to be X, Y, and Z, and the humbleness of this team. Everybody just does their role and does it well. Well, there you go. I don't think they care. This out. What if J-Dub drops 40 and wins the Finals MVP?
Oh, hell no.
Actually, he doesn't.
Yeah, but no. Only because SGA won the MVP.
Won an MVP of what?
The regular
season. But you need to be backpacked in the playoffs. That's what ruined Curry's legacy until 2022.
Yeah.
It's okay losing Finals MVP to KD. It ain't okay losing to Iguodala, who didn't even do nothing. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Is Siakam a Hall of Famer right now?
If he wins the ring, yes.
Indiana has 0 Hall of Famers except for Rick Carlisle. There's 0 politics in that ring.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
And I don't even think no one will care. Like, it'll be a bigger staple. Indiana won! Like, the picture is going to be the whole team. Yeah! If OKC wins, the newspaper picture is going to be SGA holding up both. Hey, Derek, does Derek know about football too?
He knows about a lot of sports. He knows way more sport than me. And so
Look at some of our posts and do some
touch.
Yeah, you look at that. I'm looking for active, valuable members, so I can replace the dark dude up there.
Hey! My window's closed.
Yeah, so we're gonna have at it. What's the next biggest domino?
Oh, next domino. Don't know who, but I could definitely see a team going out and getting Jordan. Obviously, it has to be a team that has money or cap space, but
I don't know who can do it, but that'd be a great move. Brooklyn Nets, nah.
Yeah. They think Jordan Poole is like their last missing piece, and that's just gonna be hard.
I mean, I would have said Orlando before the Desmond Bane move.
Yeah, that Desmond Bane move, that was kind of shocking.
I'm really trying to think of a team right now. I mean, nah. Because of what? Miami? What would they pay for him? That'd be a great move, though. Him in Miami.
I don't know what direction the Heat is heading in though.
Yeah, I can't tell either. I thought they're going.
Obviously they're always looking to contend, but I just don't understand which way they're headed. Because that's obviously everybody's goal, but I don't understand what they're doing over there. Pat Riley definitely needs to get over the whole.
Yeah, his ego's crazy.
I think he needs to make some trades, but that's not his forte.
I think he needs to step down. Look, I'm trying to be respectful when I say this. If you remember the Bus family with Kobe, they were so egotistical on trying to find little nails in the rough, diamonds in the rough, that they ruined. If you take away the luck of everyone teaming up in Miami with LeBron and Bosh and Ray Allen and Mike and all them, Pat Riley ain't done jack. Like, mediocre at best in the 2000s. He got the Dwayne Wade win in 06. Other than that, nothing. Jimmy Butler backpacked that team.
He does have another finals appearance.
He has 2 highlights from either of those finals. One of them was the bubble with the Lakers, and one of them was against the Nuggets. Can you remember anything other than him leaning over the fence, tired?
No, I don't.
Nope. I can't even name their starting 5.
Me either. Jeez.
Justice Winslow was a bust. And he was a great college hooper, but wrong system. Yep. Hassan Whiteside, GG's, man. Like, I mean, they've done horrible in the trade. Yeah. They've done horrible in the draft. I don't know.
Yeah, dang. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Well, I mean, so you think Pat Riley just needs to go?
I don't think he needs to go. I think he needs to step down. It's like, you know, Brad Stevens in Boston. He was a good head coach, but he was really good at 5. And now, what's his name?
So what you got? So what you're saying that Pat Riley should kind of take like a Mark Cuban approach and just give a basketball to operations. Okay, I got you.
You don't got to give up everything, but you don't need to be making, and you will draw more talent that way.
He could, yeah.
It's like if Jerry Jones left. As soon as Jerry Jones leaves, you know how many superstars are going to start heading back to the Cowboys? They just don't want to play for Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
They are afraid to go into Pat Riley's system and get screwed over like he's done everybody else. The greatest Miami Heat ever to exist. We're going to say his name at the same time on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade, yeah.
And he got traded. When he stopped being good, they sent him away. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He shouldn't have retired there. Yeah.
Well, he did sound like a one day whatever, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I'm you know, I'm trying to feel like he should have never left.
Yeah. And do you remember any of his time in Chicago? Do you remember any of his time in Cleveland? No. It was disgusting.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
It was terrible.
But that's just what he does.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know about that.
The cookies. Other things I played, but the cookies was the straw that brought the camel's back. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah. That man loves his cookies. LeBron loves the cookies.
Derek, is your brother-in-law still there?
Yeah, we've been listening.
What does he think about Tracy McGrady? Daniel, what do you think? Tracy McGrady saying that if him and Kobe would have swapped places, he would have 3 rings.
I mean, I feel like Tracy McGrady down there had the same opportunity as Kobe to sit there and get as many rings as he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Just his team.
I mean, his only real shot was Houston, and you could argue Toronto, but I don't think he was going to win one in Toronto. Because that was whenever Vince Young was young. I could see him
entirely on that team one.
Bro, I thought he got one. That's why.
0 wins. If you would have gave me, he would have won with that. If you would have gave me, he would have won with that team. Are you kidding me? We're talking about 2007 Kobe would have won with that team. Kobe in the finals. And after that 3 finals, they blocked the Chris Paul trade. Tracy, that is outrageous.
Yeah.
I do think if Tracy McGrady was on the Lakers his entire career, he definitely gets at least 1 ring. He definitely gets that. if Tracy McGrady was on the Lakers his entire career, he definitely gets at least one.
Exactly my point. You just sat up here and argued. If Tracy McGrady would have swapped places with Bean, he would have had at least one. With him, I would have had as many, if not one. With him, I would have had as many, if not more. Yeah, you want a new type more. Yeah, you want a new type of drug. They ain't out yet. I ain't seen that one. Type of drug. They ain't out yet. I ain't seen that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. That's definitely nuts. I wouldn't say that. That's definitely nuts. I wouldn't say that. But he definitely like with. I wouldn't say that. But he definitely like with Shaq, because I
Arguing that.
Shaq, because
Arguing that.
Why they didn't? Okay. Why they didn't? Okay. I don't know. That Orlando Shaq ran a 4.4. Dribbling the ball 92 feet, man.
I was gonna say that was
Orlando Shaq was no man.
I was gonna say that was
Orlando Shaq was no punk, bro. The only difference between Orlando Shaq and Lakers Shaq was Shaq couldn't lay out damn hamburgers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But crazy. But the burgers. Yeah. The burgers. Yeah.
Okay, but Lakers version of him was whenever he was honestly bodying people and moving everybody out the way, because he was
Why though?
bigger and stronger.
Why though?
Pounds.
Why though?
Because he was 300 pounds and he was big as hell. But he got footwork.
Why was KD so effective on the Warriors?
Because he had other stars.
Because he could play one-on-one basketball. Can't nobody stop Shaq one-on-one basketball. Can nobody stop KD one-on-one basketball? LeBron, etc. But you gotta have just that extra bit.
Yeah.
Jesus, Larry Bird. Larry Bird, probably that'll be a good game.
Larry Bird.
Hey, step on your phone a couple times for me. But yeah, so yeah, like don't miscredit the way Bean and company played because of the greatness of Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think Tracy McGrady could go in there and fit that system. Yeah, 13 points in 30 seconds. Cool, my guy. You couldn't win one series. And he came after on the press conference after and said, did y'all see that video? He was like, "Oh, it's my fault we couldn't hit threes. It's my fault that we didn't sell tickets. It's my fault that the weather was..." Bro, are you kidding me? Like, that's your approach at the playoffs? Yeah. That's nah. And that's better than nah. Nah.
It's gonna be bad when
he was good. Give me his team, we would have won. They're gonna keep saying that. They're gonna keep saying that every time.
His shoes wasn't even...
Talk the whole Colin Cowherd thing. The thing about it is like LeBron takes the rings. And then like LeBron, because LeBron said something about how like rings. I feel like he was actually right about the whole like LeBron and ring thing. Mm-hmm. Because if Kobe was alive, people would not be talking. Like the ring is a reason. And rings help signify that.
Marshawn Lynch, even though we're on a different sport, it comes down to the motivation. Like, if your goal is,
okay.
You're not gonna find one guy. You can't name. The ass is broke.
Probably, yeah.
Tom Brady take pay cuts though.
No, see, that's first of all, Tom Brady is an anomaly. Tom Brady is in a percentage of 1%. That was a fourth. That was a Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron put another zero behind the NBA brand. Launch don't count, and they all won, so they can all speak. But the problem with LeBron.
Anyways, KD has definitely put him on with that simple move. The buzz that got, it definitely added.
So,
in the sense of people.
KD didn't do that. He didn't start it. LeBron did. LeBron could not win on his own, so he went and created a super team to stop Kobe Warriors. Let me help you. I'm just saying, you were talking about ring chasing. So if it really didn't matter, if it's a team thing, why division when you won in Cleveland? Because it matters. it matters.
Yeah, it does matter. And then guess what? It's for now. So that
Sure
means
did.
rings matter. You see, so like he doesn't need to pinpoint certain stuff.
The problem that I have with Mr. LeBron James, I think he's a little bit narcissistic, and I don't think all the time. 2 days ago was on Kai Cenat's Twitch. But even at the strip club, he doing jump shots. But if you want to be the greatest of all time, then everything 4 for 10, great. Do you know the logo? Yeah. Do you know the logo of the NBA? Do you know who that is? Does anybody know?
Jerry West.
It's Jerry West.
The Lakers.
Do you know Jerry West's finals record? That nigga's like 1-8, bruh.
Sheesh.
His finals record is so bad.
Well,
if Bill Russell,
if he had a lighter complexion, he would be the logo.
Conversation and everything, man. You just gotta hold that.
I know. He just gotta stop projecting stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's just my issue with him. I also just don't like the way he plays. I don't like that. I don't like that he flouts, but he also plays bully ball. It just don't sit right with me. Certain things like I respect what he's done to like the game, but it's LeBron makes it hard to love him. I like him, but he makes it hard to love him.
All right, guys, I gotta get going. I got work in a little bit. Got a client.
But take care. If you're are you high on LeBron?
I grew up a Kobe fan.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, and honestly, if I'm being really, really honest, this all begins with Dominic. Big Kobe fan, okay? And it was when LeBron was in Miami. I remember the debacle fell apart, you know. I like the Knicks. I like Compton and the Knicks. I like playing with Draymond Green and company on 2K and the Warriors with Jaren Jack and all in his closet. And the Thunder KD. I was like, ever. But then the whole Westbrook thing happened, and I started hating him so much. I couldn't do it. Because my roommate, easy ideology. And I don't know if LeBron with the Miami, I never liked LeBron in Cleveland. Like it was like when LeBron leaves, Kuzma. He just went through that whole young man. And if you remember Anthony Davis, how he went to LA, he literally started sitting out games. And I was like, bro, that's just so jacked up. Jacked up. Drew Holiday, and you just bailed on them because like, all right, you know, but still that's jacked up, man. You talk about that Jokic series in the bubble, AD hit the step back and yelled Kobe. AD was the guy on that team. That's what pissed me off about LeBron. I know he's good, okay? I know he's good. AD, like, I didn't do for real. You know what I'm saying? Lakers ones, I mean, shit, they went crazy. For real. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
it wasn't.
So that's my thing about LeBron. I don't mean to like, and I guess that's my thing about Shea. It's like, you know, it's just like, ugh, like.
I can't appreciate the Thunder just like I know like so like I think like a few podcasts ago you talked about how if SGA was like light skinned he would be hated or you know all like those things beyond. I like the little camaraderie like they got. I like how like they be barking. They just seem not just like this Thunder but past Thunders. They just always they have like a good young core. They just always stay together and like I like that. I like to see that. So. It's easy for me to root for them. The only team like I actually really hated was the Spurs growing up. That's the only team. Because who didn't hate? They just played good basketball, and I hated that.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody did.
Fast break layups are crazy.
On the thing too, like dude, it was it was tough. It was tough to watch them. They were so spoiled.
Yeah, you might have one bad year or whatever, but okay. Second, if you're a Thunder fan, you've never been bad. The existence of the Thunder has never been this like 10-win season. I really talk about the Sonics. We're talking about the
They've been spoiled.
Yeah, and it will continue to be that way. Bad work. I just read this right now. The Suns turned Cam Johnson, Mikal, and Jay and 5 first-round picks into Jalen Green, Brooks, 1 first-round pick in 5 seconds. Ouch.
Ouch. Yeah.
They said KD ruined the Suns franchise, but I don't think it's KD because what are you gonna do with Bradley Beal?
Facts. His contract is nasty. He has a no trade clause. He's a shell of himself. But KD's the issue.
Right. Oh, it came out today that what did you say, Dom?
I was gonna say that Phoenix, you can't blame KD for that Phoenix team being bad because they weren't winning before him. They had the one Chris Paul year, but that was Chris Paul pulling the last of his magic juices out of his body for that season.
And they lost.
Yeah, and they still lost in the finals. But other than that, the Suns with Devin Booker haven't ever been a winning organization for people to say KD ruined them.
Yeah, so let's get 3 really good scorers and then hire a 2-time fired offensive head coach. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. With no big, by the way. And no point guard. What are we talking include Tyler Hero either on that KD trade? So they didn't want to include Tyler Hero on a James Harden trade, Donovan Mitchell trade, Damian Lillard trade, and Kevin Durant. Man, what do they see in him?
What do they see in him? His younger years, I could see like a lot of promise and like because
Well, I can't hear you. What happened? Are you talking?
It randomly went muted. But yeah, no. Like his younger years, we saw a lot of potential in him, but to hold him to like this pedigree that like the organization does, I don't understand.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, man. I don't feel bad for Devin Booker. I want to, but I just can't. You wanted to be there. You continue time and time again to sign there. You like that attitude. You don't want to go. Fine. Stay there. Rot.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing either. But hopefully with the haul like they got, they might turn it into something.
I just saw something. Says trading a young star for an old superstar. Where have I seen that before? They took a picture of SGA on the Clippers, Tyrese Halliburton on the Kings, Jalen Green on the Rockets.
And you could kind of throw in Luka and AD because AD is 32, about to be 33, I believe. Luka's freaking 25, 26 now.
Yeah, that's true. Just that we draft as well. Like Nembhard, rookie year, had a 3-minute highlight mixtape of cross-ups and buzzer beaters. The Thunder, it's not the same for everybody. The Suns have a lot to fix before they're in that territory.
I don't know what's going on there.
They don't draft well, and they don't make good use of their assets either. Like they trade away the picks they do use, they use on players that end up becoming like not good, or they trade away their picks for players that don't help them win. So it's like they keep.
Yeah, like Bobo. Can we move Bobo? Bobo, a dark-skinned Wemby. Why is he not playing?
Bobo can do too.
Bobo might have a better bag than Wemby for real. In terms of like putting the ball on the court.
Yeah, like Phoenix, especially like you said, they had no centers, so.
I don't even know, man. That just got me dumbfounded. What's the next big move for you, Dom? Who's doing the next big move next?
next big move as far as the offseason goes?
Yep.
Gotta be honest, getting traded at this point, I was like you said in the group chat, the Spurs. I mean, if you miss out on KD, you might as well try to get Giannis. And while the spacing on that team is going to be some of the worst spacing we've seen since together. Yeah,
it's going to be it's in San Antonio. Yeah, that against the right matchup. A healthy Mavs, they would give the Spurs. I think that'd probably be the only team.
A healthy Mavs.
Go ahead.
Healthy Mavs are so dangerous.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
No, that's what I got. Like, where I didn't realize. Obviously, during the whole Luka trade, it definitely hurt the fan base. But after everything came to light, Nico was cooking.
Yes, but the thing about it is nobody expected Kyrie to be hurt. Look, when AD was on that court for that 3 quarters, they were beaten, got hurt.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie tried to hold on without AD and company and got hurt. And no one expected Klay Thompson, AD, and everybody, Tim Hardaway, to get healthy literally the day of the play-in. And we sat there and watched Anthony Davis run point guard for the Mavericks in a play-in and didn't get hurt. The health is the only thing stopping the Mavs. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Jalen Williams said, today's shoot-around felt a little different and weird for the rest considering tonight's stakes. I don't know if eerie is the right word, but it's hard not to look back at the season and realize how long we've been playing. He's nervous. He's shaking, bro.
What?
He's nervous.
That quote just pissed me off. That quote pissed me off.
He said a couple of questionable quotes.
7. How do you even have that kind of... Oh... Just pissing me off, bro. It's game 7. You should wake up and piss greatness, okay?
Remember he said yesterday or 2 days ago, either way, win or lose, it'll be cool to have your name etched in history.
What do you mean it'd be cool? This is why you play the game. Oh, Lord.
Somebody...
You making me want to go get a cigarette right now.
Somebody said, not this again. With Dragic, Isaiah Thomas, and Bledsoe holding the basketball.
Literally.
That Phoenix setup is that Phoenix setup is gonna be. You can't put all three. You can't put all three. You can put all 3 of them on the court together, but you can't because that's not going to be efficient basketball
at all.
No,
because you have no on-ball defender, and you would have no facilitation. You take the ball. We already see you take the ball out of Bradley Beal's hands. He's not elite at the spot up. So neither is Jalen Green. So
no, Jalen Green's dead. With the ball out of his hands, he's a cone.
Yeah,
and that hurts me because I really like his play. Devin Booker's a cone. We didn't know if Bradley Beal, KD, and Devin Booker would play at the same time or it wouldn't work. You expect me to think JG4 with them 2 will work, man? They ain't gonna be on cable next year, man. They gonna be on local broadcasting network.
They gonna be on Telemundo.
Bradley Beal's got to get moved, man. There's no way you do that KD thing without having something in the back pocket of Bradley Beal. He's got to, bro.
Where is he gonna go?
I don't know.
Like, think about this. He has to waive his no trade clause. Where is he gonna do that at?
I don't know.
Because it's not gonna happen. He's finishing his career in Phoenix.
I don't know. But hey, we're gonna cut the episode here. and then I'm going to come
Okay.
back in like 30, 40 minutes, and I'm going to